And we are live. According to this, we've been live for 3 minutes. I don't know how that would be possible, but we are getting better internet response times on our clicky clicks. So let me just make sure I'll check the feed and see if it looks good on YouTube. Frank Monday Kung Fu interview live. Let's check it out. Check it out, y'all. Okay. Response time still a little slower than I would like, but you know, I'm broadcasting a hotspot from my cell phone, so it is what it is, right? Yeah, it's a little behind the times. That's okay. We'll navigate to an inactive page so it doesn't squash out bandwidth. It says I got one person watching, which is more than likely just me. And if I navigate away from that page, maybe that one person watching will drop to 0. I think it probably should. I kind of feel like Louis Rossman now that I've got my mouse pointer over here and I got my glasses handy in case I need to read the chat. So I am ready for action, guys. Hello. I've still got lag. I don't know what's up with that. Hello there, everyone. Hope you are doing well this evening. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get into some shoes. I was gonna do a little kung fu interview thing. My friend had asked me to. Now how did I figure this out before? These are supposed to sit here and behave themselves. Yeah, I think they sit there okay like that. Yeah, just takes a gentle hand is all. All right. So one of my friends over here in Beijing, he kung fu specialist, master kung fu practitioner, and he does his own thing. He's got his own kung fu stunt team training company, and he asked me some questions to do a little interview video about. So I thought I would practice one time before I do the official video. So let me pull up the questions here and then we'll do them. We'll go through them together. Yeah. Wow, there's a lot of instructions on here. There's 8 specific questions. So let me rehearse these. And he wants it in a 2-minute video format. So it seems like a lot of content for 2 minutes. Please share your testimonial to Warriors of the Light. We hope this message finds you well. Your journey with us has been inspiring, and we believe that your unique perspective can motivate and encourage others. Let's make sure I'm still connected to everyone out there in Happy Land. Hope you guys are doing well. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sleep. I'll get into trance for this. I find that helps. I'm not going to use any persona, just my natural, gentle self. So, to create an impactful testimonial, we have prepared a set of questions and guidelines. Number 1, briefly introduce yourself, mentioning your name and any relevant background information. State how long you've been studying martial arts, strength training, nutrition, stretching, self defense, and so on at our studio. So, it's specific for his studio. All right. So, Frank Monday, please introduce yourself. Well, as you stated, the old name is Frank Monday, Francis Lunas Aristeas of the OTA, Ordo Templi Astarte. I am a ceremonial magician and a human being. Relevant background information. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I grew up in the States, and my first Kung Fu well, my first martial arts training was like 4 or 5 years old. I think I was 4 or 5, something like that. My mom put me in a summer camp each summer for a long time, like preschool through primary school. And I studied with a real famous gal named Kathy something. I can't remember her name, but if you YouTube her, if you Google her, you'll see that she's like the most famous karate. She's either karate or like Kempo karate, something like that. Wataru, Shotokan. I can't remember exactly. I was a child after all, but I learned all the basic forms, and pretty sure I achieved like the highest rank for kids in her little training camps, which isn't saying much, but it shows that I liked kung fu and I liked memorizing the forms. So that's where I started. I probably shouldn't give you guys the whole fucking spiel, but I did taekwondo, I did kendo in junior high, and then I moved on to kung fu when I was 13. See, I had an older brother who liked to do it too, and so me and my brother Michael, we practiced our whole lives as a hobby. And when it didn't really get serious until we got into kung fu. And when we got into Chinese kung fu, that's when I realized I had really found what I love. Like, Chinese kung fu has a mystic element, and there's qigong. There's a whole philosophy surrounding it that's much more in depth than most other martial arts schools. Like, you've got medicine, you've got tuina, which is massage therapy, bone setting, zhenggu. You've got acupuncture, you've got herbal remedies, you've got tinctures and all kinds of things. And so it's a higher level of training, I felt. Plus, the Chinese kung fu guys just seemed nicer. Their attitude was good. Like, we talk about the Demok or like the touch of death and Iron Body. We trained all of that, but like the attitude was never one that you're trying to get out there and kill someone or you weren't trying to be a badass. The Japanese arts and the other schools, they all seemed like they wanted to fucking rip your head off. They seemed so serious. Whereas the Chinese, everybody was giving each other massages and bone setting. I guess it was a little more gay, maybe, a little more brotherly love involved. So let me see how long that took. All right, I can see that if you wanna make your video 2 minutes long, you got to be super snappy because I just talked for like 3 or 4 minutes, I think. Number two, your initial training with choice team. Let me introduce my choice team. Oh, but I want to kind of hit each point. So that's martial arts. Strength training, I never really got into. My older brother did. He did a lot of weightlifting, and he did all kinds of stuff, but he was bench pressing like 350 pounds by the time he was 16. And I tried a little bit, but the best I ever got up was like maybe 140 pounds bench pressing, because that's what I weigh. I weigh like 135, 140. And so I don't know, it always felt like I was hurting my body too much doing that. Nutrition I got into a lot. Like, I did an entire year of vegetarianism. I read Norman Walker's book, Juicing for Life or whatever. I bought myself a Norman Walker juice press. That was a big Southern California thing. I don't, if you're familiar with him or not. But I got big into nutrition, studying, um, even studying food trophology, which is like what's the best way to combine foods for energy and digestion. And we even did colonic therapy at our house. We bought 2 or 3 Colima boards, which is a branded colonic board for getting up there, and washing out the old bunghole. Self defense is another topic here. I've been a bit of a street fighter. I've been a scrappy kid. I got my ass kicked a lot when I was young, and so I know a little bit about fighting, and I know a little bit about fighting dirty too. So at our studio, though, so specifically with Troy's team studio, um, there's no way I could really introduce it in 2 minutes. But I got invited by another kung fu actor buddy here in Beijing, and the first time I met Troy, like, I met him in the subway, the Beijing subway, and when he came off the subway, man, he reminded me so much of my brother, like tall, handsome, good looking, and like just perfect physique. And he's a little smaller than my brother. I think a little shorter, like maybe 5'11". He's probably 6 foot, but my brother's 6'2" and 200 pounds. So Troy's probably 6 foot 175. So he's a little more ideal, even like physically. And I told him he looked like the living Steven Rogers. I said, "You're the real life Steven Rogers, man." And he said, "Who's Steven Rogers?" And I said, "Captain America, bro. You look like fucking Captain America." Turns out he's Australian though, but he's a great guy, man. And I love him a lot. This is probably over a decade ago, maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, 2013, 2012, something like that. 2012, 2013. Um, Initial expectations. So I worked with his team a lot, and I trained with this. I've trained with this studio a bunch over the decade. Um, Part two here says, describe your initial expectations before starting our program, and what did you hope to achieve or learn? See, I'm a little bit different in approaching Troy's team because I never really had any expectations. Like I didn't join his studio with the expectation of really getting anything done. Just camaraderie was the only reason I joined. Didn't have any specific kung fu goals. I'm kind of, at 50, I'm kind of at the end of my adventure, as far as like seeking out masters and training and stuff. Now I've already got I had, by the time I met Troy, I already had my routine so set in stone that I wasn't really looking to do much else, just keep training. Of course, each year you do set goals, you set stretching goals and strength training goals and all of those things. So his team can definitely help young people with that. Transformation and progress. Share the specific skills, techniques, or knowledge you have acquired through their martial arts education program. Okay, so again, that I approached it from a different angle. So it's also a film studio type endeavor. So I wanted to learn to be more comfortable in front of the camera and learn cinematic kung fu because I've always my whole life I trained kung fu to kick ass, and for internal energy cultivation, but I never learned it, never practiced with the intention of being watched or doing it as choreography on film. So that was one of the things I wanted to learn. And the transformation and progress was very delightful. Like Troy knows all aspects of the industry, from camera work, production, set lists, audio, editing, from top to bottom. He knows the entire industry. So working with him was really amazing because he's very kind and caring and patient and gentle, and he'll give you the advice and techniques for any area of your cinematic training and your martial arts training. So I think that's a point that I sought out. Um, the next question here is, what is discuss what sets our martial arts training and education services apart from others. Highlight any distinctive features, teaching methods, or aspects of the program that you found particularly valuable. Again, with any system, I found, for me personally, the biggest thing is camaraderie and just being among other people. I like routine, systematic training systems where you get in line and you practice on isolates, right? You practice on a single skill isolate over and over and over again. A good warm up and stretching program, including calisthenics and some cardio exercises, and then partner training. I like to do a lot of good focused partner training, including traditional conditioning, free sparring, and sets practice and stuff like that. So I just love martial arts and any system that's well organized. And Troy's is very well organized. It's organized on more of a wushu type system, but he does the kung fu stuff after like a little bit of wushu training too. So the format, basically, if I were to break it down from what I remember, I don't know if it's changed, but I haven't been there within a few months, and he's constantly progressing things. But it includes like some basic wushu, like kung fu wushu skills training, and then choreography and working in front of a camera, and then practical application as opposed to movie magic kung fu, right? Because you have to be very, very distinct in knowing that these two things are entirely different. You don't do real kung fu in front of a camera. You do choreographed um, dance, almost like a dance, like a dance number with another person. It's very different, and it's more stunt oriented, and it requires a high level of physical exertion. Because one of the big things is you want to make it look cool enough that it looks real, but at the same time, you can't do real martial arts. I mean, like you could do real martial arts with angling and stuff and camera angling, but you really can't because you don't want to hurt the other people. You don't want to hurt yourself and you don't want to hurt others. So there's a lot of effort and energy goes into controlling the illusion, the illusion of it, the drama of it. I can see that 2 minutes. I would never be able to put this down into 2 minutes, man. Support and guidance. Talk about the level of support and guidance you received from our instructors throughout the learning process. Share any instances where our team went above and beyond to help you succeed. I mean, fuck, Troy and his team, man. Troy, Troy's spirit, man, that divine spark of creativity and the energy he brings to everything he does. It's an infectious energy. And like a viral energy, it infects everyone on his team, and they all bring that same loving, caring, divine light, of the creator into everything they do. And that shows with his company, his studio, his training, and everyone he touches and infects with that spirit, the Holy Spirit, as it were. He's got it. And I think that they go above and beyond in everything they do, really. Overall experience. Share your overall experience with martial arts education at Troy's team, including how enjoyable and engaging the classes were, and mention any positive impact the training has on personal growth, confidence, and physical fitness. Yeah, I really don't know how you could fit all these questions into 30 minutes, or into 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't even know how you could fit them into 30 minutes, let alone 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes is what he's looking for. So he's looking for a good edited down version of, like a selling point, or not a selling point, but like a synapse, a summary. Yeah, the upshot of a thing, as it were. I think my personal overall experience with Troy's team has been nothing but positive. They're top level professionals in the industry. They have the top gear and training equipment at their studio. They are loving, kind, and gentle people that are promote positive, constructive growth within an individual, and they allow you the opportunity to connect with all of the big shots in the industry. With that said, a lot of people have been cutthroat going in there, and I always direct people to Troy's team. I mean, the next question here is, would you recommend it to others? Absolutely. I've recommended personally dozens of people that have gone there and trained with them and then become wildly successful, but then they're cutthroat. They don't pass nothing back down the tree. They climb the tree rapidly, and Troy always has the energy to place and position people in the industry. I mean, all of the top names, all of the foreign talent working in Beijing that have gotten into big pictures have done so with Troy's aid and assistance in getting them through the door, getting a foot in the door, and helping build their confidence and their skill sets. And then they always weigh anchor and shove off. So don't do that, man. Be a good person in the industry. Don't be, I mean, movie magic, movie industry, a lot of people are cutthroat, but it's kind of heartbreaking to see so many people go in there and do that exact pattern, you know. Um, Well, on the one hand, you're paying for a service, so he is getting paid, but it's not much in comparison to what you'll end up making, right? Like without Troy, you'll come and you'll get in the industry and you'll struggle for 500 RMB a day and eating shit food and with the huddled masses, as it were. That's less than $100 a day, and you'll always be in the extra category. But you start working with Troy's team, and immediately you're going to get key roles, and you're going to go from 500 RMB a day to 15 20,000 a month RMB, which is a substantial salary. Or you might even get booked for jobs that are 10 or 15 grand for 2 or 3 days of work. So the difference is like night and day. And with that said, you shouldn't abuse that, because if you do abuse it, then you won't be long lived in the industry. It's really easy to get a bad reputation, but at the same time, if you're a star, you're a star. And at Troy's team, stars are born. And I've seen that happen so many times. Closing thoughts. Feel free to provide any additional comments or thoughts you may have about your experience with our services. Conclude the video with a final positive remark or sentiment. I think I said it best right there. I mean, Troy's team is just awesome. And the reason it's awesome is because Troy is an awesome individual, and he gathers like minded individuals around him, and he puts diligence and labor, consistency. It organizes everything really systematic and has the true spirit of Kung Fu beating in his breast. And that's what it's all about. When you meet Troy, it's like meeting Jet Li or Donnie Yen or fucking Bruce Lee. And you can see it, you can feel the genuine spirit of the thing. He's got it. He's got it. And not a lot of people got it, man. I knew it and I recognized it because I have it too. Um, Not in the same way. I mean, I've done kung fu training my whole life, but it's never been the direct focus of my life. The direct focus of my life has been the Tao and other things. But I've been so close to the kung fu spirit my whole life that I can fucking recognize it immediately. And it's not just that, it's more than that. It's above and beyond that. It's a spirit of the scholar warrior. It's having the savage spirit of a warrior, but the gentleness to keep it reined in. And yeah, so I mean, Troy's team, fuck yeah, man. It's top notch training. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to say about it, man. I just wanted to practice one time because I gotta try to squeeze it in to a 2 minute video, and I want to give some, some decent material, and I want to make it. I want to make it a thing that Troy can use on his program, because he's worth it, man. He's worth it, and he's worth putting all the effort in. I've put in a lot of effort, man. Um, on doing projects with Troy's team, and I've never once have I injured our relationship by doing anything underhanded like 90% of these other guys have done. And I'll tell you the reason why. I was never in it for the money. I was in it for the love of the spirit of the thing. And Troy's in it for that too. And I recognized that immediately because he gave me everything he had in terms of training for free. And I mean, that's a rare opportunity. It's a big business now, and you don't get to interact with Troy's team and not pay for classes, right? You get a professional level service that you're going to pay for. But I was in it in the real early days of the thing, and we trained together in a spirit of camaraderie and brotherhood. And so we were both doing, I mean, he was doing all the work, but when I was on set and I was doing camera work or acting work or organizing work, I was putting forward 150% too, but I wasn't doing it for the money, and I was doing it because I brotherly love. That's why I was doing it. So that's what I got to say about Troy's team, man. That's my honest opinion of the fucking thing. And I love y'all, good looking, sexy people. I will see you in the abodes of the future. Keep doing good magic, and ad astra per aspera. Get you that kung fu swing. Until next time, bye for now, guys.